Bill Belichick is taking that job. I thought it was going to be the Chargers, but it looks like the Chargers are mainly going after Jim Harbaugh. And more than likely, Jim Harbaugh is leaving Michigan. It's interesting when you look at Bill Belichick taking over for the Falcons. Now, the Falcons are built very, very well. I do believe that they're maybe a quarterback and a couple of pieces away from being contender in a conference that's just crap. Bill Belichick would think, I don't want to stay in the AFC. I don't want to go in the Chiefs division where I have to play the Chiefs back-to-back times in a season. If I was Bill Belichick, I'd say I could go coach the Falcons. I'm in an easy division. They have a great tight end, which they didn't use right, in Kyle Pitts. They have Drake London, who I think is a great wide receiver, just needs to stay healthy. Bijan Robinson. This defense, this secondary, which was very weak the year before, played very well throughout the season. They made a move for Jesse Bates. It changed everything for that defense. They drafted a D-back. They might draft another D-back in this year's draft. And by the way, Bill Belichick is known to build secondaries everywhere he's gone. There's no weaknesses besides the quarterback position on this team. They still could get Penix. They still maybe could trade up at 8. Them and the Chargers are very interesting. And Arthur Smith just fell apart in the second half of the season for the Atlanta Falcons. Bill Belichick, you know, if he takes this job, he's bringing in Josh McDaniels. He's definitely bringing him as the offensive coordinator. And I wouldn't be surprised if he brings in another defensive coordinator that did take over on the defensive side of the ball for the Eagles this year after firing their defensive coordinator, Mr. Science Rocket Machine. They're going to build a winning culture over there in Atlanta. Bill Belichick, he'll probably decide to go there, then the Chargers, because he has a chance very fast to win. Because the only team he necessarily has to worry about year in and year out is San Francisco.
The division, I think, is the biggest thing because the NFC South, the way it's regressed, Tampa and the Saints had good runs at certain points. Tampa's still a playoff team, but they're not the powerhouse they were with Tom Brady. And the Saints are a talented team that's very poorly coached. And Panthers are just a dysfunctional train wreck right now. So with Bill Belichick's influence there, Arthur Blank knows that the Falcons, this is their best chance to turn around because these other seasons that they've had, without having much of a quarterback play, they've had decent talent. They're still 7-10. They're not 3-14. Bill Belichick is going to have control of this defense, which got better this year. You don't usually see free agent defenses get over one season and make it work, but the offense is the big thing they're going to have to fix regardless of who the coach is. Quarterback, and maybe more receiving depth after Drake London. Cordero Patterson was okay, but Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson, those are the two big guys that they're going to have to really turn around.
You have three guys that could change an offense. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson. They're pretty good offensively. And their offensive line is actually not bad. Bill Belichick, in the way he runs his offense, he doesn't need a top-end offensive line because he likes to get the ball out as quick as possible. If he gets the right quarterback and the quarterback that makes sense for him, and that's why I think moving up in this year's draft and getting the guy that he wants, drafting the quarterback at 8 or bringing in a veteran guy like Jimmy G that can run his offense, I think that could help the growth of the young quarterback that they bring in.
Bill Belichick with Josh McDaniels together, like their team offense, even without the greatest receivers or the greatest running backs, they like to rotate a lot. They made that kind of thing work, and now they have top-end stars. They always had it at tight end, but receivers, Wes Welker, they found off the Dolphins special teams. Julian Edelman was undrafted. These running backs, too, besides Corey Dillon, like nobody else is going to stud. They have that kind of thing considered a stud with Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts if they can reach their athletic potential.
I think that Bill Belichick, he's made up his decision. That's why he's going for a second interview, because I think they're now just negotiating a contract and how they're going to want to move forward. And then I think you're going to hear probably at the end of the weekend that he is going to be going to the Atlanta Falcons. It's not a coincidence that he's going for a second interview. When you hear a second interview, it usually means they're closing in on him. That's the same thing with Robert Saleh with the Jets. As soon as you heard his second interview, you knew he was going to sign with the Jets. I think the same thing over here. So it looks like the Falcons are going to land probably the best coach available this offseason and one of the greatest coaches that we've ever seen coach in any professional sport in a 20-year span.